Good morning. I am 3 minutes earlier today. So you know the drill. If you're watching in recording, you're welcome to fast forward to the beginning of the actual practice or to stay with us through our hellos. In the meantime, I'm going to tag whoever I need to tag if Facebook allows me. Good morning, Joey. It doesn't really show on the video, but we are having a little norte, which feels amazing. I'm all bundled up in a sweatshirt with a hoodie, wearing socks. Love it. I love nortes. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Mike. All right, it is time for us to. Oops! That's the norte. The phone just fell. All right, back to position. All right. Can you hear me well now? I'm not sure if it lost connection when it fell. Okay, I'm going to assume that everybody can hear me well. Fingers crossed. And it is time for us to start. Today, we continue exploring honesty, and this time our focus will be on being honest with ourselves. First, I want to read a passage from Mark Nepo's Book of Awakening for you. The famous British child psychologist Winnicott talks about two aspects of personality: our true and false self. It is the true self that lets us know what is authentic and what has become artificial, while the false self is a diplomat of distrust, enforcing a lifestyle of guardedness, secrecy, and complaint. In everyday terms, this means that each time we experience a change in reality as we know it, we must choose whether to declare or hide what we know to be true. At such moments, we either need to bring the way we have been living into accord with that shift of our reality, or we need to resist the change. So in daily ways, whether we live in our true or false self depends on our willingness to stay real. Over time, staying real, being honest to ourselves, becomes the work of keeping our actions in the world connected to the truth of our inner being, allowing our true self to see the light of day. Very often, though, out of habit or fear, we continue to behave in old ways, even though we know that the way of things has changed. Time and again, I have found myself at this critical juncture, having to admit that what was essential is no longer important, and then needing to summon the courage to make the act of living essential again. I know that every time I hear or see the truth, but hold to the old ways of being or thinking or relating, I embark on a divided life, in which I listen to the dividing inner voice secretly at night, but denying it day after day in public. But this moment of inner embarrassment, when we catch ourselves in the act of split living, is also the recurrent chance for us to honor once again what we know to be true. However small or fleeting, this one repeatable act can restore our common and vital sense of being alive. So let's explore this together now. As always, take a comfortable position and take a few moments to settle in, to acknowledge all the circumstances of your practice, both internal and external, knowing that everything is interconnected, that with each breath cycle, you can start dissolving the boundary between the inner and the outer. Let your breath be soft and easy and uncontrolled. Simply observe how the breath flows in your body and how the body responds to your breath. Scan your body from top to bottom, allowing each exhale to be an opportunity to release, soften, to let go of tension, reminding yourself that there is always this support from the ground, that you can lean into, that you can trust, and you don't need to hold yourself up. You can relax. Now recall the time when you felt a moment of inner embarrassment that Mark Nepo talking about. The last time you realized that you were doing that what sorry, the last time you realized that you were doing what was no longer authentic to you, but you kept doing it anyway. The split between the true and false self. Can you pinpoint the reason that kept you doing what you knew was untrue? Was it because you thought you should? Because it's what's expected of you? Because you don't want to disappoint others? What were you afraid would happen if you honored the truth as you felt it? If a similar situation happens tomorrow, would you like to act differently? How differently? Throughout this reflection, try not to blame yourself for living this split life. To a certain extent, we all go through this. This is just human condition. Comfort that scared part of you that is afraid to live in truth. Tell yourself it is safe to openly honor what you know to be true, to live authentically, to become yourself truly. I'd like to complete our practice today with a poem by Dana Folds. The title is True Right Now. Truth is true right now, all-pervading, creative, infinite, and free. I can easily evade it, but this is no practice life. This is the real deal, slipping through my hands like sand. Truth is true right now, but only if I lose myself in it, only if I'm willing to be used by it, to trade in my illusions and open to what's real, to trade in my illusions and open to what's real. As you go about your day today, notice when you are not being true to yourself. Don't judge or blame, simply observe and acknowledge. Becoming more and more aware of your patterns to hide your own truth from yourself and others will eventually bring forth a resolution. You don't need to force anything. Simply remember, as Dana Fold says it, this is no practice life. This is the real deal, slipping through our hands like sand. So we better live it as our true selves, authentically. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a gorgeous day, and I will see you tomorrow.